Hi, I'm Professor Rituparna and I'm going to share how design thinking is used to solve business problems. From the iPhone to everyday furniture, design thinking has enabled some of the world's most beloved brands like Apple and IKEA to develop intentional and human centric products. Design thinking encourages the business to be more empathetic in their approach in communicating with customers. In other words, putting themselves in customers' shoes to understand their needs, desires, and potential problems. It is about providing a solution by visualizing the product and telling a story rather than selling a feature. To explain, I will share two real stories. The first one is about the company GE Healthcare. Those of you who've undergone an MRI scan or got it done for a family member would know that the scan machines, however sophisticated they look, have the ability to scare. Having an MRI scan is generally not a pleasant experience for adults, let alone children. Children often struggle to stay still during the process, often crying given the frightening experience. The chief designer of GE Imaging Machines was shocked by this and felt as though something had to change. By applying design thinking, he observed all the children going through the scanner while also having conversations with not just children but doctors and educators. Through the conversations and observations, he found that rather than being seen as an elegant piece of technology, the MRI scanner was seen as a scary machine by young children. As a result, CT Pirate Island Adventure was created. The MRI scanner was made to look like a pirate ship and it transformed the traumatic experience into a kid's adventure story where the patient had the starring role. Prior to the transformation, approximately 80% of the children needed to be sedated prior to getting the scan, and after the change, this dropped to a mere 10%. Another story is about Starbucks. The food and the beverage industry was experiencing a drop in sales and poor margins. Starbucks decided to interview thousands of customers to better understand what they expected from their coffee shops. The predominant insight gained from these interactions was that customers actually wanted an atmosphere that provided a sense of belonging and relaxation. Building on these insights, Starbucks positioned roundtables strategically to make solo coffee drinkers more comfortable and less self-conscious. Design thinking is one of the many tools you can use to solve difficult, complicated problems. Being conscious and mindful of what methods you can use to help you get unstuck and move along is more important than religiously following the prescribed process. Instead of starting from technological innovations, say we've just built a faster computer chip, let's make a product out of it. Or business driven decisions like we can make lots of money from selling X. Or we figured out an innovative business model to sell Y. Design thinking starts from getting to the hearts and minds of potential users, uncovering latent needs and using those to spawn off product and or service ideas. The major difficulty people have in adopting design thinking is the drastic change required in the mindset. Design thinking requires a certain mindset to ensure successful application. Some of the characteristics of the mindset include: the answer won't be clear from the start, even though this is not comfortable, it allows for unexpected solutions. It is okay to fail. Failure is an incredibly powerful tool when it comes to learning. It says stop talking and start making. Design thinking relies on the power of tangibility. It is about human focus. The people you are looking to design for are ultimately your guide to innovative solutions. By learning and iterating, there is a greater chance of generating successful solutions. Some of the strategies or mindsets that can help to apply design thinking are: human first. Think of your customers beyond just numbers. Be curious about their feelings, hopes, fears, and the unique stories they have to share with you. Once you get to know and empathize with them, you may think of your product or solution and how you market it in a completely different light. Combine qualitative design research with quantitative market research, and your intuition for decisions will be much better informed. The second way is to flare before focus. In design thinking, using divergent thinking or flaring helps to discover opportunities and explore ideas. This includes gathering a wide range of user stories to better understand the opportunity space, as well as going for quantity and deferring judgment when brainstorming. Once you have myriad of themes or concepts in front of you, you can use convergent thinking or focusing to narrow down choices and make informed decisions. Knowing when to flare and focus will certainly get your creative juices flowing while getting the project done within time and resource constraints. And the third way is to think. Imagine investing in a big campaign push only to discover that it didn't resonate with your customers after having spent so much time and resources on it. In product design, we have a similar problem where the cost of failure significantly increases further along the process. One of the ways to lower these risks is by constantly testing our hypothesis, by making our concepts tangible and testable with users from the very early stages until the very end. Knowing how to give and receive feedback using I like and I wish statements together leads to a culture of openness and constant improvement. To summarize, I would state that your intention for business changes when you view it through the lens of the customer. In design thinking, you solve problems that meet the customer's need, and that for any business is the sole objective of being in business.